benefit.
Recording in progress.
Do not let petty jealousies and trivial personalities influence our deliberations. Let us uphold always the obligation of unselfish comradeship and loyalty to our organization and the town of Cohasset. I now declare this meeting of the Cohasset Council on Elder Affairs duly open for the transaction of business.
We want that in the minutes every meeting.
I care not. It doesn't matter. It's why, I mean, if it's something you can just boilerplate and pull over, that's fine. Okay, let me see. We all have agendas, I think. First order of business today is for everybody to introduce themselves as we have a new associate member. Marcia Sylvia. Many of you know Marcia, but for her benefit, if we can go through introductions so she has an idea of who's here. I'll start. I'm Rich Hines. I've been on the board 6 or 7 years, currently the chairman. Let's see, I'm a double E from Northeastern and an MBA from Clark. Work for all the high-tech companies in the state. I'm also commander of the VFW in Cohasset, and supposedly the director of the Valor Act, if that ever happens. Working with town employees, excuse me, Nancy.
Present company accepted.
Yeah, this was supposed to be in place July 1st, and here it is, middle of September.
I don't know what that is.
Well, this is an opportunity for any veteran to do service hours, work as a volunteer,
Oh, right.
any
Okay.
discipline in the town, and get a tax rebate at the end of the year, up to $1,500.
Could I just add to that? I was at a meeting with Chris Senior and Megan and the accountant and the treasurer, and they need to get Chris to agree to whatever terms we're going to have for that Valor Act, and then it has to go before the board, select board, before we can then put it into place. So right now, from the conversation we had, it looks like they're going to try to do it, and then all hours have to be in, I believe, by, it's gonna be a short window this time because it has to reflect the fourth quarter, I think, so they have to have all the hours in. Not quite exactly sure of the timeline, but it's shorter this year because of that, and then it should start again, like, I guess, January 1, so that they can start accumulating all of their hours. So it's coming along, but it's what's not going to be in July 1st.
And it's just for veterans.
Currently,
There's,
it's,
yeah, there's some, and I'm still working on that. There's a piece where we can have a veteran who's disabled, have someone else work for them on behalf of them. So we'll see how that goes.
we may be able to also get the seniors as well.
Because I know
That'll
that
be next.
Hopefully get this.
Yes.
one.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the next thing, I think, once they get this through the select board. I think it's easier to then just
Yeah.
add the senior to it as well.
It's like typical government, you know,
Yeah.
they agree to do it, but they're waiting for it to die off before they have to pay it. So, anyway, so that's my introduction, and if we go on to Diana.
I'm Diana Karcher, and I've been on board for a long time. Yeah, long time. I'm vice president currently. I also work with the swim center a great deal, and I also work as a volunteer for Medicare and do instructional work with them for instituting insurance policies and trying to explain to them, or to people, the ins and outs of Medicare and what fraud and abuse is. So, that's my life
What
in
do
a
you do in your
nutshell.
spare time?
That's-
Play bocce.
I
Yeah.
play bocce.
Queen of
Oh,
bocce.
and nothing.
That's the important thing. I play bocce.
Jim,
My name's Jim Murphy. I have been on the board 4 or 5 years. I don't know. I spend a lot of time in the kitchen.
I know that, yeah.
He's very good at it.
I
You
know,
probably-
right.
Yeah.
That's good too.
And Marcia, I'm Elaine Coyne. Welcome. It's great to have you on board. I am a retired CPA, hence I typically serve as treasurer in whatever volunteer position I'm in. And I've been on the board for probably, I don't know, 9 or 10 years, I think. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And I'm Eleanor. I volunteer a lot.
She sure does.
I'm probably 10, 15 years, I don't know how long I've been on this.
Yeah, I put you guys all in,
I
I
was
put,
in the other
you're all in
bills.
my Vista, so I don't know if it's this month or next month. If it's
Oh,
not
wow.
this month, this is September, is it this month? And I can tell you what, everybody is. It's not. Okay, next month you're all gonna be highlighted and it tells everybody's year, so.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
I thought it was
Uh-oh.
August.
Ruh-roh.
Right after,
Yeah.
right after you got, on the board, so I had to say we're expecting you, so I thought it was my August visit. If you haven't seen your
Might have
names,
been.
that means you're not reading my article.
I'm Beth Tarpey. I don't know, I've been on the board probably about as long as you, and I can't remember how long that is.
Yeah.
And I'm also the liaison to the Affordable Housing Committee. And I've gotten involved with the Friends of Elder Affairs too, and we do the cafe and stuff, so I enjoy my time down here.
Happy Nagel. Marcia and I have been friends for a very long time, but I'm so glad you're on the board. I'm so excited to see that. I've been on the board, I think 9 years, almost 9 years, and I'm the liaison to the Housing Authority as well. So welcome.
Oh, I'm Marcia Sylvia. I've been on the board about 10 minutes. And I've been hanging around here for a while, doing activities and things, and thought I kind of got, I sort of volunteered. Rich said, hey, how about?
Did someone
Yeah, right,
volunteer
yeah.
you? Yeah.
Just planted a seed.
Uh-huh.
That's all.
And I said, yeah, I have issues. I'll do that. See what I can. Yeah.
Great,
So,
I'm glad you did.
I'm excited to see how it goes.
Welcome.
And of course, Nancy is our director.
Yes.
Yes, I am the director. I've been here, I was the assistant director for, I think, 5 or 6 years and came on about 3 years ago as the director, so enjoy working with you all, so happy to have
Good.
one more excited, engaged member to us, so thank you.
That's what we need, right? Okay, has everybody seen the minutes from last month?
Yeah.
Are we comfortable with that?
I move to accept the minutes.
Second? On the motion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes carry. Can we go for the treasurer's report now?
Alrighty. The report that I sent out, there's a little reconciliation at the bottom of the page because we still have not, the town hasn't closed out their final numbers for June 30th. Usually it's done by now, but maybe she didn't, I don't know why, but it may be done today, who knows? But as of the point in time when we received the town reports, it hadn't been completed. But I'm sure it'll be done for next month. So next month, we'll make sure that we're all in agreement with the town. As you'll note, the receipts and appropriations in the general fund were $65,634. The first 2 months of the fiscal year are typically combined. Because we don't meet in August. So that number 65, a little high, but it's right within what we would expect within our budget for fiscal 2024. Under the grants, I have a new format that Nancy and I had talked about changing our format. It's not in the copy that you had received, but I do have a new that I'll have you look at and see if that's the way we want to go, just to break out the 3 different grants that we have, just to see the activity of what's there, because there's a lot of carry forward in the formula grant. But during the first 2 months of this fiscal year, there was only activity in the ECHO, what's it called? ECHO earmark.
Oh, the earmark, yes.
Which Nancy will address in her report. So we did receive $12,500. We do expect to receive $25,000. It's to fund outside improvements, the pergola. And Nancy expects to spend the whole amount of the 25, but they give you 12.5, and then we go in and give them the supporting documentation. And when we're complete, they'll give us up to 25,000. Under revolving fund, we're in a positive position with 1,626 net. Gift accounts, the receipts of 5,170 and expenses of 5,046. all relate, well, primarily relate to social worker activity. We receive funds from the Social Service League, Marcia, and then we pay the salary and it runs through our books. Even though it's not money, it's money coming in and then going back out again. And the van replacement, there is that 31,795,000 that's reflected as an encumbrance. In August, the purchase order was recorded. Nancy will follow up with that as well. So that's the purchase of the new
Oh, good.
van. I'm not sure when it's coming exactly, but it's on the books.
It's on the books.
So the leftover money from the 66,000 that we got at town hall, we think is just probably gonna have to go back to the, it'll go back into the town
The
budget.
cost of the van is only 31,000?
Yeah,
Our cost.
20%.
20%, yes,
Oh,
Thank you.
excuse me.
yeah,
I was having a little heart attack over
Yeah,
here.
I never heard of it.
I know, for that cheap.
20%, so it was, I think it was 105,000.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And is that the full cost of it fitted out and everything? or- Yeah,
Yeah, that's great.
100,000 for all in, huh? Wow.
Yeah, well, it's more like 126,000.
126,
With
wow.
all in, but I got like whatever we needed. I didn't think we were going to get another van for quite a while, so we got whatever and a few extras.
Everything that they could think of.
Yeah.
Well, good.
Why not?
That's,
Well, and
Utilized
that's
it
the
well.
thing. I mean, I got something to circulate the air. God forbid we ever have another
mhm.
pandemic and we can't open the windows. So we got like extras like that. I got something to help with the wheelchair, when you put the wheelchair in, it kind of guides you through it because that seems to be a problem for some of the drivers. It's really scary to make sure you're locking somebody in good in there. So it's a system where it's helping them put on a green light and red light and direct you kind of as
Oh,
to
wow.
how to put it in. It's supposed to be faster. So things like that I thought might be really helpful to both the seniors who go in the van and for the drivers. We added those kind of, not a lot. We didn't go crazy with it, but we did do, I think, the few things that we needed to make that best for us, for this community. So
Great.
And the wait list for the, how long did we have to?
it won't be until, I believe they say next June is when we expect
This
it.
coming, Joe?
And when did we order it?
24.
Yeah, a year from
June 24 or 25?
24.
Okay.
And when did we order it? 22?
Oh,
No.
yeah, well, when we first did
When
it.
there weren't any.
Yeah,
Well, if I can suggest that we hold on the balance of the 66 grand until we get the van and see if there's anything else we want to put into it.
absolutely. We
You know.
talked about that. Can we keep that 31,000?
Well, for a while at any rate. you
But we
know.
don't have
Well, I don't-
control.
right,
Well,
I
we-
don't know when
we
they'll
need to have
come
room
back
for the liquor cabinet.
I knew that was coming. Why did I know that was coming?
Exactly, right. Yeah, we'll see what town hall does with it, but there is a
We're
request.
not gonna offer it.
Got to ask Paul that. I was going to ask Paul, so do we have anything else in the lineup for the, capital that I just saw him this morning, but we will pursue that.
Okay.
Try to keep it, but chances are.
No,
That's a new
we
request.
should return it if we don't use it, but
Oh,
let's keep it until we see what we need. Good.
So if we did do the breakout of the 3 grants, it gets so tight, the schedule, Nancy. I mean, I don't want to, it's not a big deal. People may not even care. But if I did do it, we'd have a 2-page document, I think is the easiest way to make it readable. We would have the 3 different grants, activity, the carryover balances by grant, and then that total line flows into, it's hard to make more columns across the
Yeah.
page and make it readable, flows into the top page as the total grants.
Yeah.
So if you like to see the detail, I think it's good to see, like formula grant, we have a carryover under the formula grant of 24,000 that we have to spend. So it's good to look at it and think, okay, how are we spending that?
Right.
What's our plan for that money? Same with, in ARPA, we have a accounting correction to make on that. There was some accrual adjustments made when ARPA came through a year and a half ago. that's gonna be, reverse itself out. So actually
After
ARPA's
we don't
got
have that money,
balance, and
whatever, right?
maybe next month when we meet, we're going to meet with Jennifer to go over the carry over balances and this reconciliation. You'll see duplication of receipts. It's just a printing problem, I think, with the system. But the system is generating a town report that counts receipts twice. Remember, you
Yeah.
brought that up to me a couple of, I said, oh yeah, that's been going on for a while. So we want to get that cleaned up on the way that that's printed. Why does that do that? I don't know, but it's been doing it for a while.
Well, we're restricted on how we spend the grants, right?
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes. But, and Nancy has plans, but sometimes like that formula grant got away from us.
Right,
There's
right.
a lot to be spent.
We were hoping it was going to start, with the formula grant we're hoping to do with the kitchen coordinator position.
Right.
So I'm actually happier that we have a little extra before we start the position because, you know, we'll have to pay out of that. Any increases, everything has to come out of that, that grant. And so we know the formula grant's going to stay pretty steady, but as if this person here is here a long time and we get the, you know, cost of living increase and then if they do well and they get a bump up, I mean, all that comes out of the grant money, so I need to have a little cushion.
Doesn't that transition to a town employee at some point?
If the town manager would allow that, yes.
Past experience.
That ain't happening.
Yes.
Right,
Yes,
past experience.
past experience, yes. Hopefully, it would, yeah, continue.
That's what,
That's
I
the
think
goal.
is the goal, that's why they have the formula grant, so that you can try out a position, see if it's needed, if it can warrant the position, but some people, some senior centers have had formula grant positions only, like forever, like that's what they use the money for, is a position, and don't expect to turn it over, so really just depends on every.
So probably would be good if you could give us the breakout and then it's up to people, you know, we can look at it before the meeting anyway. If they don't want to print it.
Exactly, it'll be distributed along with the regular
Yeah.
report. So just know that you'll be looking for a 2-page report, as opposed to the one.
Where does that formula grant come from?
Executive Office of Elder Affairs, the state.
State.
And it's, am I correct, it's based on number of seniors?
Yes, and
And
I
it's a
will, that's
set
in my
amount.
report, so
Okay,
it's gonna
yeah.
bump up.
Oh, good. And do you want to talk about the ECHO, the earmark, the 25,000 that's going to be coming in?
Yes, so that is, so the 25,000, we have 12,500 economic grant that was passed in the end of the fiscal year, last fiscal year. $25,000 to various communities who have, who approached them and asked for the money, I guess, to say what we could use it for. So we decided
Everybody
to
do
use it
those.
Somehow gives them one, yeah.
for the pergola outside, so we could really expand the outside opportunities for people. And I'm still working with Glenn Pratt and the facilities department as far as what we can, how big we can build it out there. And so that was part of my report. It needs to come. So they think it's going to be about a $40,000 pergola. And if we get 45,000, we get 25,000 from the state. I need your support in using the rest of that money, the balance, about 20,000 from the gift account is what we're looking at.
And in the under gifts, we do have an unrestricted balance in the gift fund of 39,000, over 39,000. So we have, what is it? Unrestricted is $32,452 as
So
of
to take
August
25
31.
of that though,
It'll be, yeah.
But
But
it's been sitting there, right?
it's been
how
sitting there for a
long?
long time,
Yeah.
long time. It's been growing.
It seems like a good way to
Oh,
spend it to me.
Right. And maybe formula fund, if there's any left over
Right,
on
well,
that, we
do
could
some of
touch
that.
upon
Yeah,
that.
and that might be a great idea, maybe even half and half or something. just-
Yeah.
Is the formula fund basically unrestricted or it's?
Well,
Anything that's, it has to be senior related and it has to be good for the seniors of the community. They're very flexible with it. Before, we used to need to give them an accounting of what we were going to spend the money on. But now they just give us the money and assume that we are doing it for the best of our the older adults of our community.
Definitely benefit a wide range of people.
It definitely would, yeah.
Absolutely.
So I think that that would be a really good, and since we have the extra formula grant
Exactly.
money, I think that's a wonderful idea.
Do you have a design available that we can see?
No, I don't. I was not given one yet. They're still working on that.
Yeah, because I've been looking in a lot of places and I've got a yes and a no. And a lot of people are saying, don't do just a pergola. If you're going to do it so it's got a cover. Because, and don't go for a roll cover. They rip, they don't last, they come in the wind and then people
So
abandon
what's
it.
the other kind?
Yeah, so what kind of cover would you?
Metal.
Well,
Metal, they get solid metal.
But how do you take it off?
You know,
You don't,
So then it's a covered pergola, it's not technically
It's like
one
a
of, like an
porch.
open.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The one
yeah,
you-
more like a covered patio.
Not port,
Covered
no,
patio.
they're going to build it. There are some, and I
Yeah.
don't, and I apologize, I don't know the name of some, local construction company that's been doing a lot of, work around. I think he was up at the fields or making a snack, something, at some of the fields. And he's going to apparently, build it. He gave us an estimated price.
Yeah.
So it's not a model or anything. We're just using it based on, what we tell him, what size we want. We're gonna have to have some company come in and build some pilings, I guess, or dig some pilings, and then he'll come in and construct it. So I don't know about, since it's kind of done, like it's not through a company's, pergola company. I don't,
somebody's got to be creating a design.
yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
Can
Glenn
we-
Pratt's really.
can we ask Glenn to come to one of our meetings
Yeah.
and give us an overview?
Because I'd like
of the
to
thing?
see,
Yeah,
Okay,
especially where I've been really watching, like Falmouth just built a brand new, they've got one. I've been going around, when I see one, I've been looking around at it. I might take some pictures of it, just,
yeah, if Glenn could give us a presentation, that'd work.
okay,
That would be great.
because you want it to be used.
all right.
And you
don't
don't
wanna
want to
do-
cover for the sun.
And that's why I was thinking of having I don't want it open, I want the cover on it, that we could pull back, when it's sunshiny and then put out if it's like a little bit, cooler or a little bit of, a little rain, not so much that it's going to, destroy the top. So we need to look at other
Yeah.
options.
Yeah,
over
good,
sure.
good.
Any questions or comments?
Nope, good.
Accepted?
Can we get a motion to approve the treasurer's report?
So move.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those in favor? All those in favor? All those against? Motion passes. Okay. Now Nancy for the director's
Would you
report.
pass that down?
Thank you.
Please?
Thank you.
All right, I just wanted to bring to everyone's attention, if you haven't noticed, when you come in the front door, you'll see right above the reception desk, a beautiful painting. Kathy Bullock is a local artist, and donated to West Parker Avenue. I'm sure a lot of people, when you see it, you'll recognize the
Okay.
the area. It's really, really pretty, and the colors work perfectly in that spot, so
Great.
I hope you'll take a look at that. It was a very kind thing for her to offer us. I wanted to bring up next week, big week for the center and all of us, the national accreditation. Sandy Johnson will be here. We're picking her up. She's supposedly going directly, we'll pick her up at the Park and Ride in Rockland at 9:45. She'll come here and walk around, actually have her, she's gonna go in for the coffee, chat with some folks. At 11 o'clock, she's going to tour the center, talk with me and Nettie and give her she has any questions for us. 12:30, I believe, is the time that we were thinking for lunch here. It's a lunch meeting with the board and with Sandy. Sandy would like to talk to everybody, just kind of get a feeling of what the center's all about and meet you all. So I would appreciate, and I thank you for all your responses to who will be able to attend that, because it's
Is everybody in
I
for
didn't
that?
get that.
You didn't get the,
September
email?
18th.
I will double check it and send it to you again, but that's.
Thank you.
I'll be there.
Yeah, I said
All right,
I
awesome.
responded.
Okay.
Good.
I'll send it to you again, Taffy, but that's when it is, next Monday. After she meets with the board, she's going to meet with the staff, and ask questions and just get whatever information she needs from us. 3:30 is, according to this timeline, things might change, you know, this is just estimated. We're going to, she and I will sit down, and go through all, these are the manuals. We'll go through everything that we sent to her. She'll have any additional questions that she has. We'll call a secondary reviewer. There's another one out in California who's also been looking at all our material, and the two of them will then ask questions about how we do things, how we would answer certain questions about the building, about the needs of the seniors, about the way we work around here. So
And
Monday
that's
afternoons,
only with you.
only
right?
with me.
Cool. Have
Was
your helmet.
Sandy with you?
I don't know if she'll, I'm going to check with Sandy to see if she will, how she wants to do that, but according to her, it's
You're
just,
having lunch here with her?
the board is having lunch with her, yeah.
What are you doing for lunch?
Yeah.
You're not
Who's
going-
cooking?
I'm
Ask the
just making sure. What's the plan for lunch?
I was gonna bring in sandwiches, or just get some, deli meats from Stop and Shop.
Somebody
that
somebody
okay?
else is going to make the sandwich? How is this gonna work?
Are the sandwiches gonna come made?
Yeah, pre-made
Oh,
sandwiches.
Yeah,
okay.
just get a sandwich tray.
Yeah, sandwich platter.
Can we do better than that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only-
Oh, I can, if you
You
get.
got all this grant money.
How about fresh? They make nice.
Fresh cheese?
They
Oh,
do a
that's
beautiful
much nicer.
sandwich
Yeah.
platter.
Good
Do
idea.
they do platters like that too?
Fresh feast.
Okay.
Oh, the fruit center does a great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Center,
Different flavor, different sandwiches, like a variety of them, that's what I,
anything.
Okay.
Anything you want.
Five self-made.
Anna just.
Yeah, I was gonna say 5 South Main does.
I mean, I think we should keep it in
And the
town.
barrel does.
Keep it local.
Yeah, they do great sandwiches.
Oh, yeah,
And
they
the
do.
barrel's another one, yeah.
And a dessert platter too. They'll do a dessert platter too.
okay,
Bags of chips, separate.
Yeah.
all right,
eggs
we'll
and
work
chips.
on
There
that.
you go.
Right, we need those bags of chips.
Now
That's
we're
one of my
talking.
cracks.
So Nancy
Need my
has,
chips.
Sandy Johnson had a chance, she's gone through everything already, right?
Yes.
So any,
She's had a chance to go through everything. She's asked a couple of questions with the long-term goals. She wants to know about the benchmarks. In other words, what we've seen so far with the goals that we've had. For instance, like one of the first goals when we did this, it was a 2021 to 25 long-range plan, and one of them was to get the new website up and running. So we're tracking now, I'm having to track how many hits we have versus how many we had before, just so that she can see what we're doing is working. Another one is to really get
Should all
more
go on the website.
participants. That was another one
So
of
we
the
should all go on
goals,
the
to,
website.
open
Right.
more programming and get more
Sounds-
participants, so we can easily show her that back when we started that, and the trend is that we're increasing numbers around the center. So those are the kind of things we're working on now, getting all the those answers for her.
And I think when you might want to meet with Glenn first or talk to Glenn, because I know there's plans to enlarge the center as far as the original plans.
Oh, yeah, that was supposed to be phase 2.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you might want to be versed on that so you can explain it to her.
Okay.
When we put in the bowling alley and,
in the bar.
That's
Yeah,
Okay,
I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll be
yeah,
doing
yeah,
that
yeah, we
phase
can
2
do
for a
that.
while, but
Right.
because that was going to be a social daycare. That's what they really
Correct.
want.
Yeah.
Which
Oh,
would
wow.
be,
Wow.
which would be
I was gonna
fabulous if
say-
we do it,
Yeah, that was a whole different, that's a whole different piece.
Right.
It wasn't part of the actual senior center. It's part of it, but it's a separate piece. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So we'll look at that, but I would like, you got, you have a week just to take a look at everything. I have the surveys in here that we've taken surveys. If you guys are participants, you'll know that we do send out, at the end of some of our programming, ask questions about what you liked about the instructor, what you liked about the class, what you would like to see more of, that kind of thing. So we have those surveys are in here. We have the long-range plan, we have our marketing plan, we have information about the facility. So just take a look through there if you have any interest. I have no idea what kind of questions she's going to ask. She could ask, how do you find out, how happy people are around here? How often does Nancy, give you reports? Or how often do you look at the economics of the place? So these are the kind of things she'll probably be questioning. How involved are you? Do you have committees? I mean, these are various things that could come up. So just be prepared with anything. If she's asking you anything and you really don't know, or because it's really not what we do, you could always refer her back to me and say that we'll, work on that, or that's something Nancy does. So follow up with Nancy later, something like
Give us
that.
cheat sheets.
Yeah, I know.
That's the
The
cheat sheet.
one-on-one or no?
No,
No,
it's
it's
all
all
together.
of us. Yeah.
So
Yeah, so we
you'll
can
all be
easily-
able
yeah.
to throw in.
Well, one of the things that came up in the surveys that we filled out was whistleblower policy.
Oh, yeah.
And we don't have one. Now, does the town have one?
The town has a whistleblower policy,
Can we
and
work that into our document too,
And
whatever that is?
Wait,
It is.
Okay,
yeah, it is in there, and when you see, and that's one thing she did ask me, I just got it this morning, so she's still looking over all our stuff. She asked for the town personnel policy. She wanted the first page of it, maybe because, I don't know why she didn't ask for the whole guidebook, but I took a lot of the policies from that guidebook and put it into our
Okay.
department ones. So this morning, I just sent her a copy of the guidebook. It has the front page, which has all the policies, and then it goes into detail. So she'll be reviewing that. She wants one of the other things, she wanted a copy of what we have in each of our employee files, what we keep in there, what the town keeps in there. Doesn't stay here, it stays at the treasurer and collector's office. But I asked them for a sample of mine so that she could see what, a typical one is. So I'll have that for her to review. She asked about the town finances. She wanted to see, or the department finances. She wanted to see what's coming in and what's going out. So she may have some questions for you, Elaine, that you can answer better than any of us. But so those are the kind of things she's been really kind of digging in a little bit further on. So we'll see between now and next week if she has any other questions for me, but right now.
but
that's the
going through
latest.
those employee reports, there should be some confidentiality there.
There is, that's why I couldn't give her
That's
anybody
right,
else's.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I gave her mine
Okay.
because I released it.
I wanted to
But-
find out about those charges,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
you're
right.
still waiting on.
Exactly.
And so who is this person again?
So her name is Sandy Johnson,
Yeah.
and she's from what I understand, she was a director of a large senior center right outside of Chicago.
Mhm.
And so she now, I assume she's retired, but that's just a guess. And so she's working with the National Senior Center Council on Aging Association to review different ones throughout the country for accreditation, because she's been accredited.
She's staying, where's she staying?
At the Rockland, which not whatever one of the ones over there. It's
Are we
not
paying
Best
for that?
Western. Yes, we will be paying for
Okay.
that. Yep,
Could you send us the town policy thing that you sent to her?
sure.
That would be
Yeah.
Guidebook.
for all of us
It
to
would be
have,
good to know, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
because
now-
when I hit that on the survey, I said, whoa, we've been through a lot of stuff. We haven't been through that.
Yeah, okay.
In the program as a whole, I think it might be helpful to have perspective on that. Didn't you say that this accreditation is not going to continue after 2024? Is that what it
It's
is?
going to change.
It's gonna change.
Right, so that's why we had to get all this in by June 30th,
Mhm.
because as of July 1st, because the accreditation, there's, I don't know, thousands of senior centers across the country, and only 104, I believe, are accredited. So it was such a daunting task for so many. They figured, you know what, we want more senior centers to reach the level of the highest standard. We don't want to put it so far out of reach. So what they decided to do was,
Lower the bar.
Lower the,
yeah, so so that's why we wanted to get in there. We want to be at that higher standard. As of July 1st, they're now reformulating it. I believe they're going to still have the same thing, but they won't have from what my understanding is, they have not put it into concrete, but they're saying they're thinking they'll still have the same high standards, but they won't have like that, this peer reviewer coming out, walking around, talking to people. That's a big deal because then they really get a sense of what we're doing here. We can't just put anything on paper. Afterwards, what their thought is they will still have everybody have to do, like, show them that they meet their certain standards, but they're not having the peer reviewer come out and talk to all the participants and talk to the board members and really get a feel for it. I believe it's just gonna be paperwork that speeds.
So, but then,
Yeah,
so why you're saying we'll have the better accreditation? Will anyone even know
It's
that?
good for 5 years, and so we can still market ourselves as an accredited senior center for the next 5 years. And then when they renew it, by 5 years from now, we'll do whatever they are, their regular,
We'll just have to do a little update.
Right, right, yeah.
right.
and I guess, yeah, I'm kind of confused a little bit. What's the difference between the two?
Well, one
Are
is
there
the-
different levels?
we'll have to find out. They have not told us what they're going to do next time. They're just going to make it so that they're probably going to, money is a big thing too. It's cost us, I'll have to check that thing. I think it's like,
$1,000.
yeah, it's close to $1,000 to get accredited because we have to, get all the paperwork in, and it's
Pay a fee,
the.
paid an upfront.
Right, based on how big the senior
You have
center
to wear a
is.
sash or anything?
Yeah.
They ought to at least give you a pin.
Get it.
Super.
So I don't know how they're going to change it and what they're going to do the next time. I would think they're going to lower the cost, number one, so that it makes it more feasible for some of these smaller, especially rural communities. But it will still be an accreditation that you still have to meet certain high standards. So we wanted to get in at the ground floor to say that we are like one of the top tiered senior centers in the country if we are able to show that to her. And then from there on, every 5 years, they'll just reevaluate based on whatever their new policy and standards are. But all it's going to do is let people know, as a recognized accredited center, that we meet the highest standards in the nation. So it's not something that we had to do, but it's only going to keep us on the top of our game.
We voted to do it.
We voted
So
to do
we're-
it. And when we voted, there wasn't choices.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
just
Right.
what it was.
Yeah,
Do it or
And
not,
since
yeah.
then, it's changed.
Yeah.
But I remember our discussions when we voted on that, because there were several meetings. The net result is very little to us. I mean,
Yeah.
whether we get the accreditation or not,
Yeah.
yeah, whether we
Yeah.
get the accreditation or not, people are still gonna come or not come. I mean, it really has,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
was gonna
see
say, I'm
anything
not going there
bearing.
because they're not accredited.
Right.
Right. Yeah, they won't even know.
Well, they won't know. If we don't get it, we're not telling you.
that's right, yeah,
Of course we're gonna
Go
get
away.
yeah. But there has been a lot of work done to get it to
Yeah.
I
happen.
want my $1,000
To
back.
improve.
Well, and that's the thing,
We
it's
all
all
want
an
to improve.
improvement, and
Right.
everything we've done in looking over what they think are best practices versus what we've been doing, and what we've needed to do is to lift ourselves up to get to that level, so
In
that you
certain
can see that
areas.
we're doing, is all good, it's
Yeah.
only benefiting
Yeah.
the senior
Right.
center, it's benefiting the seniors, it's just making us more,
It kind of gives you some parameters to measure yourself against, instead of just thinking, yeah, we're doing a good job.
right, excellent way to put it.
And I think the only local organizations that have is Quincy, right? Anybody
No.
else have it?
Yeah, Hingham has it, Duxbury has it.
Okay.
Marshfield has it.
Oh.
Situate is going for it. We're going for it. And I believe those are the only, I mean, it's in our local area, I think it's going to be kind of expected
Yeah.
because there's so many around us, who do it, but, outside of this area, Massachusetts is just always so much
Exactly.
further above
Yeah.
everybody else anyway.
You-
But it's the truth.
Well,
Masses out there.
it's true, it's true.
You need one?
So
don't
just
have
going
one.
forward with that, so that's, so in the afternoon, it's all, what I'll be handling and hopefully Megan is coming for that, so you'll see her on
Every
Monday.
time
I like
I
that.
wrote in my
Works
suitcase.
out of her home.
One question, at 12:30, when she meets with the Board of Directors. Are you going to attend that as
Yes.
well? Okay.
And she's been working on
The next morning, she's going to, at 9 o'clock, come back. We'll pick her up in the morning from her hotel in Rockland. She'll come here and she'll meet with the participants as she's going to go into a program observation. So if you're in any of your yoga classes or
Oh, yeah.
whatever, we have on,
Look busy.
I will be.
yeah, you may
Happy.
see somebody just walking behind and seeing how the classes are run. So she'll be there for yoga, probably walk in, and we also have the painting classes being upstairs. So she'll probably observe that as well. 11 o'clock, we've got a few volunteers we've asked to come back and be around. So if you can come back on Tuesday as well as a volunteer. And then around noon, she'll take off. And then we won't hear until she'll then bring it back to the board at National Senior Centers. And then they will write up a report and send it to us. So I don't know how long that will be. So that's what's going on next week. And I wanted to bring to your attention, we thank very much Social Service League. They're just so good to us. And as if you had noticed the front landscaping, they had a landscaper come out, pulled up. I had a tree about this big that was growing in front that was not supposed to be there, like a big weed right in front of my window. So the landscaper was able to pull that up, pull all the weeds out, kind of trim some of the bushes, helped with the rose bushes over there, kind of pruned them back. So it looks, I think, really great, and hopefully we will be able to keep that up a little bit better. But it has been almost 10 years since too much has been done around here.
They did do a job around the bocce court too.
Yeah,
So they
did
cleaned
nice.
that up.
Yeah. Wanted to bring to your attention, because of the success of the yoga, the 9:30 yoga class, we're now going to have an 8:30 yoga class as well, which is great, because if you come in on Tuesday morning or if you attend the class and you know that it's like person to person to person.
Yes, yeah.
Really, I think it was deterring people from coming in because it
Oh,
was
yeah, I
crowded.
was, sure.
And also, it wasn't fair to Amy to have to be watching for, so many people. And then some people were saying, open the wall, but then it's like so big. So we've decided to change it to a 8:30 class and a 9:30 class. So hopefully that's going to encourage new people to come in, and it's a better experience for people.
You have someone mentioned, because I did go to the 8:30 class, and there were 8 of us, I believe. And
Yeah,
then,
that's
of
what
course,
she
the
said.
9:30.
There were 16 at the 9:30.
Yes.
But that was the day after Labor Day. I
Right.
think tomorrow
Right.
will be much better.
That was
indicator.
small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if we don't hit more, do we have a cutoff we're working towards for the Tuesday? Like
Right, if it doesn't pick up, if I can't keep it, if that's the case, we'll keep everybody at 9:30, which is a big class. We're going to give it some time. I'd like to see at least 10 people on a regular
That's what I
basis.
thought.
I'm gonna try to start doing the 8:30 one, that's a good time.
8:30?
Yeah.
The 9:30 is a little late.
I agree.
Yeah, so some people,
I think
8:30 is
8:30
so
is
much
at a
better.
time.
Yeah, and other
Then you
time,
can get on with your day.
exactly. So hopefully, spread that word.
And it's great she's doing it,
And
that she agreed to do it.
I know.
And I know that from all the surveys that we sent out, the Pilates is another one that people want to see.
Great.
Pilates class, they want to see more of that one. So we're trying to figure out another day that works in the week that the instructor can also do it. And hopefully we'll get people that come in for Pilates for a second day.
Is Mary Jane willing to do another? Pilates?
As far as I know, she is. Yeah.
Great.
I wanted to let everyone know that the formula grant, so before we were getting $12 per elder, and now and I didn't even put it, and now it's up to $14 per elder. And I don't know if I gave you what was 2,025 seniors over the age of 60 is what they calculated per the UMass study. But I think it came up just a little bit more, and I apologize, I don't have that number. I think it's like 2,136 or something, just as, but I'll get you that number, Eleanor, before you put it in the minutes.
Your number.
Yeah,
Is that just people in
By
the
the-
town?
over age 60.
Over
Yeah,
60.
per the US. and that's what we get,
And that's this year.
paid for. And that will be, yeah, fiscal year 24.
24.
As you all might have heard or know, Fred Huntwork resigned as a van driver. But we've already got a new driver, Steve Chamberlain, who's starting on Wednesday. I think you'll all really enjoy him. He worked as a sub in Hingham for a while, and then he was working as a regular driver in Middleborough. So he's worked on with senior centers. He's familiar with the lift. He can hit the ground running. He lives in Hanover, and he's familiar. I think when he was in high school, he moved over to Cohasset, so he's familiar with everybody here. So would be a great addition. Oh, here we go. So the pergola, that's the name I couldn't remember, and now I have it here. Bob Barrows is the carpenter. So we will see if I can get Glenn to the next meeting and he can expound on that. If you have any shredding, remember we had shredding scheduled back in May and it was canceled because of the district attorney's office and the trucks and all. So they're coming back on September 18th, which is
18th,
next
the day of the
Monday.
lunch, yeah.
Red Cross presentation is coming up on a week from Wednesday. And we're collaborating with the Library for Herman Melville, which is a one-man play. Who's Stephen Collins. We've had him here for other things. He did poetry for us a few years back, and he did Walt Whitman. So he's a good actor, and I think that'll be a great presentation at the end of the month. Wilcox Commons saw 326 individuals for over 1,112 visits for various events and activities here. And according to transportation, 62 older adults were transported to medical, social, and shopping. 26 on the electric vehicle.
Do you know how the average, I guess, percentage of people, like out of the 2,000, is 326 good? Or,
Yes, so we see about, so it is good because it's probably, so 200 is 10%, so it's 10% of the older adult. The thing that it would probably be less because we have out-of-town people, not just Cohasset residents. We could delve, deeper dive and get that number, but it's still a strong percentage for a community this size to have this kind of activity. It is a good representation. Any questions?
I've got a recommendation for your after-hours phone menu. I call after hours and I go into a menu and it tells me who you are and how to get to you and Diane and the rest. Unfortunately, all I'm calling for is reserved for a program.
Mhm.
So I think the first thing on your menu should be, if you'd like to reserve or cancel a program or lunch, hit this number. Because most people from the outside don't know who does what.
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very true.
I've done that and you have to go, oh.
Yeah, then, well,
Wait.
yeah, I know,
Or pick,
yeah, Richard does everything.
Something.
But it's not fair to him. But if you could set that up, so the first thing is, if you want a program or a lunch, either to reserve or to cancel, hit this number.
Okay.
I think
Yeah,
that's a good
very
idea.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even really figure we should do that online
Pardon?
for that reason, I guess.
Right, and sometimes
Because you
it's
wonder
hard to
whether
keep-
they're ever gonna get the
Right,
message.
right.
Sometimes they don't, but-
Yeah.
And then
The
you don't
only
know if
thing
they
is
did.
about reserving one, because sometimes if it's full, we don't want somebody to say, oh, I'm coming for the
Yeah.
lobster lunch on Thursday, and assuming because they said that, they're in, because they're not.
Well, no, but I mean, part of, when you get transferred to that number, whatever it is, you're gonna have to provide your name, the program you want, your phone number. So Richard has always been good about calling if something's backed up. But again, just getting to that point.
To say it out there, so
Yeah.
that-
It's probably, yeah, good idea.
I have I don't know if this is the time or if you're the person, but who's in charge of the coffee in the lobby?
that is a good question. Richard usually is the one who remembers to put it out and gets the creamer and all, so
Is there any chance we could get decaf cups?
I believe.
A number of people have asked
Oh,
about
yeah,
that.
Okay, all right. We can do that.
Isn't that donated from somebody,
They-
launch?
Yeah, yeah, sometimes we get donations of coffee and I know that the box somebody donated and sometimes I don't even know who donates them because they just drop them
Show
off
up,
and then leave. So we have boxes and those are the ones we've been using and none of them are decaf, but we can purchase decaf and put it out there so
Yeah.
that there's not a,
It's a good idea.
so thank you for bringing that up, that's fine.
It's hard to run. I can't
Another
figure it
issue,
out.
I'll let you finish.
No one
Richard
can.
runs it for me.
No one can.
I thought you were gonna ask for a new machine.
No,
No one knows how to run it.
No one.
I know.
It's got directions right there.
I
Oh,
can't
no.
do it.
Ah, well.
Richard comes out and does it for me.
I've been through a couple of lunches this summer. The quality has gone downhill. I don't know if it's, I don't think you guys are involved in the summer. I don't know if I'm tending into the
I
lunch.
don't know who else is.
So, and it's surprising, because during the winter, the food was excellent. So just, and it's not the quantity, it's the quality is not the same as it was. And perhaps it's just the lunches I chose. But a couple of times I've heard people ask for iced tea. And I don't know if that is a possibility that we could start having that
Having
available.
it.
And
People
then
have-
maybe again, that was just a summer thing, so I don't know.
People
Could
have
be a
asked for
summer
iced
thing.
coffee also.
Yeah.
Well, You can't make it too tough on the
Well,
volunteers.
No,
that's the
no,
thing,
I-
we can't have
I
too
know
many-
that.
Too many choices, but I know, if we have extra coffee the day before, every once in a while, we'll save the coffee and use it for our iced coffee.
Oh.
So that's on a once in a while basis. We can certainly buy a jug of iced tea though as well in the summer, if that's what people want. We just need to hear these things. I don't know what they're hearing or if they're even speaking up. A lot of times people don't speak up and then it never gets back to us, but
Well, I've been at tables where people have asked and been told they don't have it, and they're comfortable with water and coffee. But it might be nice if we had that. Add something else on that
It's
too.
pretty inexpensive if you buy the powdered, just a can
and just
And you
make
can
it.
make a
Yeah, that's.
thing.
yeah, make
That
it
would be good for the
yeah.
3 days probably, and then
Anything else, Nancy?
That's it for me.
Any questions for Nancy?
I have one more thing. People are coming up to saying, you're on the board now, right? So,
It's another.
so can you give
Wield
us
that power.
decaf coffee? But someone asked me, in the town, if there's anyone still that does the, smoke detectors and carbon dioxide detectors, and if there's anyone that can just like put in a light bulb.
Oh, they do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, is Cohasset Care still a thing?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And how do you contact them?
You call the business line of the fire department.
Yeah.
And you press prompt 1 and you leave a message.
Oh,
It
okay.
says Cohasset Cares. It's a,
Yeah,
Still
First one.
Captain Ford doing that?
yes.
Yeah.
and they'll do light bulbs.
Great.
Well,
Yeah, they do
they'll
light
do
bulbs.
light bulbs if they come out and do the whole review, right? I don't know if they would come out
Oh,
and
yeah.
just do a light bulb separate from it.
I think so. I mean, they'll come out and change your batteries, smoke detector batteries.
Right.
So doing light bulbs the same thing, if it's where you can't reach it. I have friends that I know.
They
that
also
do
take the
light-
covers off of batteries, off of detectors. Like I had a detector that was going off, but
Oh,
it
yeah.
shuts off
Yeah,
and I couldn't open it.
oh,
I
yeah.
went down with it
Oh.
going beep, beep.
Oh.
and handed it to them and said, it's all yours. And they were fine. They said, anytime, bring it down.
Oh, that's
We'll
good.
do
Oh,
it."
so you took it down.
I took it down.
I went in-
They're really responsive. I mean, we've only had them come once, but we have neighbors that have had them come multiple times. And so
Yes.
they told me about the light bulbs, like.
Great.
Should we put a reminder in the Vista about that program?
Yeah,
That's a
that
good
probably
idea.
wouldn't hurt to put a,
Mhm.
and they're usually more than happy to help, you know. Did we get somebody for the kitchen, were we looking for?
We actually have someone who is interested, that we're going to be talking with.
Because some of these things would be things that could go to that person.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that request.
Yes.
I was thinking,
For sure.
yeah. And also, were we gonna talk about, the next town dinner?
Yeah, we haven't gotten there yet.
Oh,
Anything else, Nancy?
That is all for me.
I don't know, yeah, I guess we do. We make a motion, can someone make a motion to accept the director's report?
So moved.
Second.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, so now we're on to our general comments, and I had a couple to start with. First of all, since we changed the meeting time today to accommodate the 9/11 ceremony, a couple of times it's come up about, what about changing the meeting to 10 o'clock every month as opposed to 9 o'clock? So just open it for discussion.
Well, we used
It's
to be.
been well discussed.
10 o'clock, and then it backed up to 9.
Well, we had Zoom
I
problems
like
at
nine
one time.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. We had Zoom problems.
Zoom problem, Zoom,
Been doing 9:30, right?
Nancy's already
Nine.
checked out, and the Zoom is available if we do it at 10 instead of 9.
We did 8:30 for a while.
Oh, yeah, that was too early. Yeah.
Well, I quit.
That was because of Paul, I mean, because of people who
Just
need to go to
Right,
work.
some,
so,
we had working members
Yeah.
on the workforce.
Oh, those,
So that's why we were doing it earlier
Yeah.
in the day. But, I don't know.
So how many would
Flexible.
like 9 o'clock
I like 9.
Nine's good.
It gets your day going.
and
Rather
10?
than over and done.
I can go either.
Okay,
They'll go either way.
I guess we've had our discussion. Okay, the future meetings will go back to 9 AM.
all right.
So be it.
Oh, do you want to go?
Okay, now,
Compromise and do 9:30.
oh, well, that's a possibility.
Okay. That's
That
okay.
gives you a little more wiggle room in the
9:30
morning,
is
but
all right
it's
with
not
me.
going on
Yeah,
Okay,
at
by
10.
me.
I'd come at 9:30.
Whoa, now there's some interest, okay.
I
Do you want to take a
Can I
break?
can I get a
The
motion?
coffee hour first.
I moved to
Yes, that's
go to
true. It gives
9:30.
us a half hour.
We have a motion on the table to go to 9:30.
Work for you and for
Yes.
Zoom?
So moved,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
guess.
Can we have a second on that motion?
9:30.
Sweet spot.
Can we have a second on the motion to
Second.
9:30?
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We meet at 9:30. Terrific.
Love compromise.
I know, I like it
Yeah.
We can try for 10:30.
Try for lunch.
Oh,
Right?
Okay.
Helping the
Okay, anything else open for general discussion?
the meeting, the lunch, dinner.
Yes, I'm sorry, the
Okay.
dinner.
Whatever it is.
The dinner.
We had talked, I took a note that we were gonna try something in September, but I haven't heard anything since. So I don't, yeah, so it's too late for that.
There's the summer luncheon this week, right?
Right.
Thursday.
Right.
End of summer.
Yeah, this week is the end of summer one, yeah.
Thursday.
Thursday. Yeah.
So that kind of takes care of
Lobster rolls
September.
September, yeah,
and chickens.
October.
So we were thinking about another dinner, trying to do a dinner?
When was it, the last one we did was February, wasn't it?
No, we did one
No,
more
there was one in the
recently.
spring.
We did one in the spring, didn't we?
Was it
Yeah.
April?
Yeah.
I forget what the last one, I think it was
Yeah.
May that we did the last
I
one.
think it was May too.
Well, what goes on in
Well,
October?
so-
Do you do stuff for?
Well, I think November, December's probably washed out with holidays.
Well,
Yeah.
we do a big Thanksgiving dinner,
Right.
we do something for Christmas.
Yeah. So it's October or
So we should
January.
Try to the end of October.
October would be the next.
October would be good.
Could do a Halloween
October?
kind of theme. So I think one of the, either Hull or Hingham,
I'd like to
One
make a
with
suggestion about these
Oh, really?
community dinners.
Okay.
I've done the last two. Dan is having health issues and is going to be out of commission for Thanksgiving, and I don't know about October as well, but it may be time to start trying to recruit some new people. I don't mean anybody's quitting or anything, but we're not gonna do this forever. And it's a lot, and it's a lot of a learning curve to figure out how the kitchen works and everybody that works in it and all that stuff. So you might wanna cast the word out there that we're encouraging people to consider doing things in the kitchen in there so that it doesn't always fall on the same people all the time.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah,
I
that's
know
a
that
good
that's a
idea.
huge consideration, and we certainly do never want to overburden anyone, especially you people who are constantly our go-to people. So I know that's a huge part of what Liza's been trying to do is get more people interested, more chefs, more everything. So I'm hoping with the kitchen coordinator, that will be more likely that we could use that person as a backup for that, but.
It's an ambitious program for an all-volunteer force.
Mhm.
The fact that we have it and that we do it is pretty remarkable. And I wouldn't want to see it suffer for
Right.
lack of interest.
Your position for the kitchen, what are the hours on that?
It's flexible, but basically we want people here during Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So they would go out and do bulk food shopping for us and kind of.
So part-time.
Flexible, but it will be part-time.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, do you think you want to stand down in October and not do?
No, I'll be happy to do one for October.
Okay.
So more like a Halloween one?
Yeah, towards the end of October.
Kind of fun.
Do we need to start thinking about hiring a chef?
She
As
is.
well as. the
Oh, a chef?
coordinator?
Oh, I
No,
didn't
the
think of
chef
that,
as
yeah.
opposed to, in addition to a coordinator, is that too large of a battle right now?
Chris Senior has told
Probably
me
one of
numerous
the-
times he will not get a chef in here. And that's why we worked it
Okay.
into the kitchen coordinator. He likes the idea of the volunteers, doing it because it's been such a wonderful program. It works for him, great.
Price is
He'll
right.
pick up his bag.
Yeah, right.
So I think that would be a bigger battle. I'd like to see how the kitchen coordinator works out, how much
Start
we
with
have
that.
to do as
Yeah.
that being the backup for the volunteer chefs. And then to take that on the next time after the dust settles on this position.
But they should be aware, town hall should be aware of the strain that this has taken on the center and that, you know, we might down the road be looking for. a
Be
chef.
looking for, yeah.
Yeah.
He's been notified.
Oh, good.
Have you gotten any requests for a community dinner? Heard from anybody?
I have not heard from anybody. And so whichever one we pick, we just have to make sure it's not on a select board meeting night.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
I'd have to, let me just see if I can find out.
Yeah. But, you know, it's immaterial anymore to do it on a Tuesday, right? Any day is just as bad as any other day.
Well, that's true. We'd have to make sure that we close at 5 o'clock now, but we just have to make sure we have it, we'd still have it at 5 o'clock and I just have staff stay.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be on a Tuesday any longer.
I still prefer it on a Tuesday.
Okay.
Since the rest of the week, we close at 4 or we close at 12:15 and that means people would be,
Okay.
Longer.
Well, do we want to pick a Tuesday? Do we want to pick like the 24th? Now, just so we'll.
When is the
Because we won't meet
selectmen?
again until
Let me
October.
check and see if I can find that out now.
They may be meeting every week as it comes right, town meetings.
Oh, yeah, they want to sell us on a bunch of new stuff.
Yeah.
Why can't they meet somewhere else?
Here we go. Okay.
Yeah.
They can, yeah.
That's a good.
Because the town hall's falling down. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's only 25 million. Come on.
No, it's
20 employees.
39 million with the interest.
39 million.
I love that guy.
For those 20
Once
employees.
stood up and
Yeah.
said.
For 20
"Never
employees."
referred to
They
it
can't
as
get the
25
Valor
million,
Act
only referred
in on
to it as
July
39
1st.
million," which I was like, good for you. It was hilarious. As he stood under the tarp, that catches the leaks in the gym.
Do you have a date in mind? I know the 10th is being,
Yeah, how about the 24th?
yes. It's 24th, they are here. I don't see it. It looks like the 17th is free. And let's see if the 31st. Or the 31st.
No, you don't.
Didn't want it.
I don't want-
Halloween.
Oh, right.
It would have to be the 17th. Okay, when's Columbus Day? 9th.
Do we have to go back to that bylaw that says it's seniors first?
Yeah, I was just
I'm not gonna bring
say,
that up.
We're going back to the
Right?
bylaw that says it's the only Thursday, the only Tuesday we have available to do it, and they can go somewhere else.
I thought when he was here, it was if he puts it in the schedule, we're supposed to,
Honor it.
remember
Yeah.
that was a big thing about the schedule, so he plugged them all in. And that's why I can,
Oh.
it's plugged in.
Well, how about, since it's being recommended by the chef on the 24th, we tell town hall, we can do it on the 24th, but we don't do it.
Just if I-
And let him take the ramifications.
Why cause a problem? I mean.
Yeah, I
if-
know, I
If
suppose.
if the 17th works, let's just
Yeah,
take it.
that's
I don't-
good for you though.
Yeah, I mean, it's up to you.
Yeah, I can do the 17th
Oh, you
too.
can, okay,
We'll cause a problem, but I don't think we need to do it over this.
no, I agree.
And then as far as the 17th now, you would put together the menu
Mhm,
and volunteers? Are
mhm.
you set for volunteers?
Yeah, we never have any problem getting enough
we do
people
all right.
to
Okay.
do what needs to be done.
Now, where are you as far as publishing the Vista for October?
It is coming up, today is, yeah, I think she's expected to put it, we're putting it together, so I have about, today's only the 7th, yeah, I think she's got a 1 week.
Okay, so we gotta decide today. We gotta decide.
So when do you want a menu by?
Well, today is the, I don't know what day it is today.
The 11th.
11th. Oh, it's sooner than next week because she usually gets it out by
That's why I brought it up.
15. Yeah, I believe she's trying to get it out on Thursday because she has someone proofread it on Wednesday.
So like today.
Yeah,
Today, tomorrow.
maybe tomorrow.
Not a big deal.
We don't have to
Well,
tell us
cheese,
what the menu
chocolate
is.
milk.
We need a menu.
Yeah.
We need a menu if we.
for Halloween?
We don't need a menu.
Well, we just
Beta
like
soup.
on there, people like to know what's
coming,
being, right, they like to know what they're signing up.
Halloween.
Surprise, yeah. October
A
surprise.
fall festival
The
dinner.
fall-
Mystery meat.
Roast beef, gravy, and mashed potatoes, and I'll be there.
We can do that.
Yeah, one of my favorites.
The meat's so expensive these days.
What do I care?
Yeah,
My money.
There you go.
you got grants up the yin yang, right? Yeah, so the 17th, menu to follow,
5 o'clock.
and so make it so in the,
Is the 17th, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay, do the 17th.
All right.
okay? I do like that idea, roast beef and gravy.
Actually, does that.
And what's the limit we put on that, people?
Well, we have cut it off at 50, I think, before.
I think so, yeah.
I think
Yeah.
last time the first time we had done it, we stopped it at 40 and
Yeah.
then we let it go and it was around 40 anyway. So, but if you want us to,
Well,
if it gets more popular and you want to have.
40,
it cut it off,
50, it's all the same, it's just another bag of potatoes.
As long as we'll have enough and you think the volunteer, you guys will all be here to help
I will
out.
not be here.
So
Probably not.
When's your wedding?
14.
Take
Yeah,
a
you-
vacation
Are
after
they
that.
going somewhere? Were you afraid?
No, but Andrew's home too.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Taking him back.
One of us stalwarts.
What's that?
What's
I
an
can
easy
peel-
one for you?
Peel
No.
fast.
What's an
No,
easy one?
one important thing.
There aren't any.
Yeah.
I mean,
No.
We'll see. If he goes up.
when I plan menus, believe me, I keep
Oh
my
my gosh.
best interests in mind when I'm trying to decide what it's
Yeah,
gonna
no,
be.
you
I'm-
should, yeah.
Yeah.
Dan likes to be a little more complicated, and that's fine if he wants to do that, but I like to keep things simple. So I forget what the last one I did was, but
Wasn't
it's
ham
usually,
and
just three things.
Macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, it was macaroni and cheese
Yeah,
and
that was
ham,
good.
and
Yeah.
it wasn't complicated, but it was, you know, it was
Comfort food.
People like
something.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I try to think of things that people wouldn't cook for themselves, you know? You might not make a big roast beef, you might not cook a whole ham or something like that, but
Yeah.
something
the
that
hams and-
everybody likes. I'm, have to think about it.
What do we charge for that? $10?
$5.
$5.
For a 20 family. Oh, max.
Roast beef may be out of line for $5.
Well, it doesn't, the $5 doesn't have to be what determines.
Yeah, we've got some
Cook.
stipend for that anyway, right? Okay.
We've got money.
Well, we're not, if we do one now, we know we can't do it until at least January.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay. Sounds like
I think we
do it
should.
right.
I think we should, even though I won't be here.
Thanks, Kathy.
Where are you gonna be,
I
Taff?
think we should too.
Are you going on a trip
You're
or
going-
something, hopefully?
Yes, I'll be in Hilton Head
Nice.
Good.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay,
for the next meeting.
okay,
Oh,
so we've decided the community dinner on the 17th of October. Anything else to bring up? We've agreed to 9:30 for the future meetings.
And remember, next month's meeting, the second Tuesday, second Monday is a holiday, so it's the 3rd.
Okay.
on the
Oh,
16th,
okay.
I believe.
So
night
Good to
before
bring
the
that
dinner.
up.
Day
Meeting is
before
when?
the dinner.
Oh, God.
Next Monday.
Third
Your
Monday.
wheelhouse,
the
right?
third Monday, oh, okay.
In October.
Which is right before the
16th.
dinner,
Yeah.
16.
What's the date?
16th, 10/16.
Probably what you do.
Or you can say-
So we can try your hors d'oeuvres during the meeting, the 9th. And typically, the second Tuesday works for everybody? We're gonna keep that? Second Monday, I mean, I'm sorry.
Second,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
If there being no further business, I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
On the motion, on the motion, on the motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are finished. Thank you.
Awesome.
Who she got?
11:11.